Hey guys, here's part 2 to getting a sermon uploaded to our church website. So at this point, if I go down to our Finder, I found in our sermons Revelation 8 through 10, which is where
We're
we
in
left last
Revelation
time.
chapter 8,
Here it is.
last week.
So pausing that. Now, if I went again to Google Drive, Grandview Christian, we should find it in the sermons folder. Maybe later we'll make some separate folders to categorize things better. But closing that, I'm going to go to Safari, our internet browser. Now here I am on the login page for the church. Now I've added a bookmark right here, GCC web, it's supposed to be web, admin. Now that's the URL to find the page. If you ever need to find this even from home, if maybe you take the USB home or you have access to the Google Drive at home and you wanted to add the sermon at home, you would go to grandviewchristianchurch.com/administrator. Once you get here, our password to get through level 1 of security, which should be saved, but is John 3:16. Now that was John with a capital J, no space, 3:16, just like you were writing the Bible verse John 3:16, but with no space. Click. Now it takes you to a second login page. I didn't make it this way. This one's already saved on the computer, so you should be good. But again, if doing it from home, login is Joseph EH, and the password is right there. And rather than posting this password publicly, we can talk about the password if you don't know what this password is, and I'll make sure that you've got a copy of it. But I'm just going to click login right now. So here we are on the church webpage editor. I can actually edit the church webpage, but for today, we're just going to go to Preachit, and we're going to go to Messages. Now, I actually have not uploaded this message yet. That's right. I thought I was going to do one I already had. So I'm going to do New Message. Now, right off the bat, I'm just going to jump to the audio and upload the file. You don't have to do it in this order, but selecting, I'm going to choose a file. From there, I'm going to go to the Google Drive and Grandview Christian, or I should click Google Drive, Grandview Christian, scroll down to Sermons. There. Scroll down to Revelation 8 through 10. Choose. And I'm going to click Upload. Now, this process takes a little while. As you can see, it's at 1%. And waiting. Now it's at 2%. So this would be a good thing to basically get going and then go work on something else like I'm going to do right now. I'm going to pause this so you guys don't have to sit through it all. All right, and there we go. It's uploaded. It's only been about 4 or 5 minutes. That took longer than I wanted. Insert. All right, the file is in there. It's good to go. While we were looking at this file, I didn't take a chance, but maximum file upload is 64 megabytes. So we want to make sure that we don't have bigger files than that. Just out of curiosity, the one that we were working on there was Google Drive, Grandview, Sermons. This one right here. Oh, let's see, right-click that. Get info. Let's try that. I'm still getting used to Macintoshes. That was 0.5 megabytes. So still plenty within the range. So at this point, message details. So what's a title for it? Well, I like to do titles for the sermons with followed by a hyphen or a dash, and then the text of what we covered that day. And realistically, we covered the 6 seals that day. Now, see, it's not fresh on my mind now, but it was Revelation 8, 9, and 10. So I'm just going to say it was the seal judgments, and then chapter 10 was no more delay. Let's just call it no more delay. That was a good name. You can always ask the pastor, ask me, ask whoever what to call it. But no more delay, I hit the caps. That's why I'm having trouble here. No more delay, Revelation 8 through 10. So come back here. The date of that message was March 25th. I don't usually do a description, biblical reference. Now, 2 references. Now, for this one, I know I started in chapter 8, verse 1. I ended in chapter 10, but I need to know what was the last verse of chapter 10. So I'm going to start a new tab. And I'm just going to say here, unless you have a Bible in front of you, obviously that's really easy to do. But I just going to put Revelation 10, and it pulls it up. Go down and check it out. Okay, Revelation, that was 11 verses. Okay, good to go. So go back to my new message details. There was 11 verses. Now, that day, we pretty much stayed in our text, I think. I can't recall jumping around too much and looking at other texts, though we may have. But if there was definitely a second Bible text, like on Easter Sunday, we did a lot of 1 Corinthians 15 along with Revelation 11, then you'd put in a second Bible text. Otherwise, it automatically calculates the time. It has me as the default person teaching, but there are other options like Kyle Gillis and Cameron Stevens right now. Series. We're in the Revelation series, and we're on the Sunday morning ministries. So in the future, we may have a Through the Bible Sunday nights. But all that said, that's the main stuff you put in. I don't usually use tags unless there's an obvious tag to put on there. You could say something like forgiveness or salvation or faith or baptism of the Holy Spirit if you have a big theme to the message. But since this was a couple weeks ago, I don't remember exactly off the top of my head what to put. So that's good. I can hit save and close or save and new if you were trying to do a couple. Save and close. The sermon should now be up and running on the church website. And to double check that it is, you can always go over here and in the top corner, click there and it'll pop a new tab open with our church website up and running. And here on the church website, I could go and click on messages. Doesn't seem like, oh, that's clicking. It's interesting. The messages link didn't work. Well, I can click here on messages in the top corner. And there's the one we just put in. No more delay, Revelation 8 through 10. And it's all up and good to go. I can click on it here. All of our hard work has paid off. Let's see if it plays. We're in Revelation chapter 8. There we go. All right. Thank you guys for being a great audience.